So what did you read a thing about above instead of below?
Just the deck. When you try and go down below, it says the
Oh.
future is above, not below.
All right, I'm in the convo.
All right. So this was the very first thing.
Yep.
Amazing I'm still here. That you're here. And that you might still speak. That Lucian... I find a way to fit. I wasn't just content to lurk in Lucian's shadow. I was his shadow. Now I stand in the sun as my own man. And so I find out. My goal is to have a goal.
Okay. So maybe we go to the front of the ship. I feel like you're right. There has to be a way to trigger like the actual credits. Oh, we can use the Lady Vengeance up here.
I was just gonna say, can you talk to the hall? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wait for you. All right.
And I'm in.
Good to see here. So you're glad that all the trouble is behind you? Yeah, we are glad. We're glad.
Yeah, War 3 I think is great.
Yeah.
I will always be an ally to those that carry swords, to those whose blood is of the heroes of old. And so, as always, I am at the ready.
Oh,
All right.
Oh,
Time to depart.
nod silently, it's time to depart. Fuck yes. Roll
It's a great-
credits.
It's a great end line.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And yet, something is different. You are different. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins.
End.
Oh, dude. Are you ready to move to your next adventure? Hell yeah.
At last,
Fucking
the
yes.
world was at peace. As the races united behind Lucian, Arx remained the center of power. The ancient Lizard Empire opened its gates. The houses disbanded, and the Empire adopted a pluralist quasi-democracy. Anyone could vote for whoever they pleased, as long as the House of Shadows approved. Justinia returns to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven kingdom prospered, until 2 years later, a jealous lover stabbed her in the heart with a mutton fork.
I like that they just leave it at that.
Lucian made amends to the elves. He gave them lands and vast riches from the coffers of the old divine order. But the elves never forgave him. They would not trust humans again. And in a dark forest on the far side of a desert, well beyond the high seas, the Black Ring came together once more. The island of Fort Joy, the old redoute of the Source King Brachus Rex, was turned over to the people of Driftwood to use as they wished. They turned it into a holiday resort. Reaper's Coast prospered. The fisheries returned, and the fertile farmlands produced the greatest harvests the surviving farmers had ever seen. Blood Moon Island became particularly fecund, its soil producing the greatest crops. A particularly crimson-fleshed orange grown on the island became a delicacy across half the world. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood became a center of industry, trade, and transport. Lohar the dwarf became mayor.
Hell
His time in
yeah.
office was cut short by an
Fucking
unfortunate
right.
wound that spontaneously appeared on his neck.
Most underrated character in the entire game. I love that he's wearing a giant rat.
Legan left his over-demanding wife and began a relationship with a local bard.
What the
In the
fuck is
spirit of
this?
loving generosity, he
Seriously.
returned the ring to his now ex-wife. In a fit of rage, she threw it into
Oh,
the sea.
that guy. Why does he get his own ending?
The nameless isle had vanished.
Oh,
Although
hell
only
yeah.
open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Arx became a great metropolis, famed for its prosperity, its culture, its diversity, and the willingness of its denizens to stab each other in the back for the slightest advantage. Sir Gareth thanked the surviving Seekers for their service and gave them their freedom. Disillusioned with peace, he set out alone to find a
Definitely
new
not
purpose.
how I envisioned
He would
Garrett.
never stop seeking. Young Han went into the theatre and
Let's
became
go.
one of the realm's most popular actors.
But he would
Oh,
only
you
act
must
in
be a little bit
solo.
ahead of me.
Almira and Mihaly settled down on the farm. The locals liked and respected Almira. She never wanted for help, and deals always fell to her favor. She presumed she had them in thrall. The truth was, they just
Han.
liked her. With no new divine, Malady found herself in a predicament. She had an important problem to solve, but no ally strong enough to call upon, and so her search continued. Ahu the wizard became one of Lucien's most trusted advisors once more. He always knew that something had changed in the divine. He never discovered what that was, or if he did, he never said a word. Jehan the demon hunter found himself at a loose end, so he
Yeah.
opened a museum of demonic artifacts. He made a fortune. With Lucien in power, Sahala took the elves away from the world. They grew strong once more amidst the trees of the regrown home forest. Some say her plans for revenge will bring about the end of days.
And in a small desert cottage, a mother
Some say only
delves
Tova,
deep
her
into
mother,
alcoholism at
holds
the
her
loss
back.
of her son. Soon, she'll kill herself while
Lucien
alone
returned
in the
as
night,
divine, united the races, and
with
became
nothing
Lord
but
Emperor
Henrik
of all
scribbled on the
Rivendell.
walls in her own
Only
blood.
Dallis knew that he was entirely powerless. Dallis and you. The Eternal, now known as Dallis, was a secret advisor to Lucien and to his successors. For eons she would walk in the world, and would outlive the peoples and all, and wander alone amongst the dying stars. The Red Prince came home a hero. With Sada, he had more dragons. Soon, Prince became Emperor, one who would not use his dragons for conquest. His realm knew peace, and the world did not burn. Lohse returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as Rivellon's premier musician. Dark moods would at times overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. In a world of peace, you could live forever. Your future was yours to decide. But you were a sorcerer no more. Did you accept your new status with gratitude, or did you rebel? Only you know the truth, you and one other. But of him you are free. The God King no longer calls your name. He no longer whispers your shame. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
Are you there? Can you hear me? So I'm thinking it's maybe really choppy. Can you hear me? Testing, testing, testing. Any better? Is this any better? Any better? Hello? Hello, hello? Hello? Oh, it's choppy as shit, dude. I hear you clicking and clacking. I also got your text message, so no worries there.